You are a magnet right now. I just see like this bright golden light. I see you shining so bright. I just feel all this this strong pull to you. You have done so much work on yourself. You have spent the last, I'm hearing 3 to 5 years have been significant. The last 3 years was especially significant. There was okay, so let me start over. The last 5 years ago, you went through a major transformation. And then 2 years later, that transformation was heightened by another learning journey. And now that cycle has ended. Whatever you needed to learn about yourself has been seen. You're seeing it yourself and you are elevating. I feel like you have cleansed, I'm hearing cleansed your frequency, meaning relationships that don't serve you, relationships and situations and circumstances that were keeping you tied to an older version of yourself have fallen away. I do sense grief. I feel like you're still grieving and you're still moving through some of that, or you might feel pulled back into stories about all of that. But when you bring your focus back to yourself, you do have moments where you see it, where you see, if you're looking in the mirror and you're like, hey, I see you, where you're seeing yourself and really connecting with yourself. I really want to commend you for all the work that you've done. You would not be this person that you are today, this strong, resilient, kind, compassionate, I'm hearing badass person that you are today without the trials and tribulations that you went through. So if you find yourself getting pulled into stories where, I should have known better, or I should have done this differently, or why did I do that? If you find yourself going there mentally, if you can just kind of bring yourself back to your breath and ground yourself in your body, you will continually come back to remembering who you are. And I'm not saying that me saying this to you is just confirmation you already know this. So I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know and haven't already been practicing. So keep doing what you're doing because it's working. And I know that you have moments where you're seeing that magnetism, where you might be getting more attention. You might be having people reach out to you, especially if you are more of a public person. But even if you're not, I see you walking through the grocery store, for instance, and you just kind of have this light about you where you might see people looking at you more, or especially children looking at you more. And that's because as you're walking around, you're kind of walking around in this white light bubble, and people can see that and feel that essence. So they're just drawn to you, kind of like an earth angel type vibe is what I'm getting. You might have a tendency to be really hard on yourself and to kind of dim yourself because there's something about it's kind of like a fear of standing in your light and letting yourself really shine as the energetic light being that you are. But I'm hearing that the rest of this year, you're going to be embodying that more and more. And they're showing me month after month. So if you look at how you've been showing up in the world, in July and in June, you'll see your progression month over month. They're showing me a couple ties, tethers that you're still holding on to like in terms of like relationships or like situations that I'm just hearing that caused you pain, you can she always gets on when I get on a video. You can transmute that pain. Really? You can transmute that pain by, tell them, acknowledging that it was necessary for your growth. And while we don't always need to learn through pain, pain is a great teacher for us. And if you think about it in terms of growth, when you're like stretching yourself, when you're expanding, it is kind of a painful process when you're like being stretched. So if you can, instead of getting like sort of caught up in the hurt of it, if you can look at that as like initiation into like a more resilient you, I think that will be helpful. What else? What else needs to be shared? I mean, it's cliche, but I'm just going to say keep going. Keep going. And really this time feels like a time to solidify your relationship with yourself. For much of your life, you have given away power to others in, from a good place of wanting to show up for everybody, wanting to be of service. But now is the time for understanding that to truly be of service, you have to be embodied and of service to yourself first. And that's not in a self-serving kind of way. It's, I need to take care of myself and be fully me and really like love who I am. Like, I feel like you're on a journey of like really loving who you are, like falling in love with yourself, so that you can allow yourself to really truly be seen and embody your authentic expression. And that is truly what is needed for you, for all of us, like, is to embody our authenticity so that we can, when we are expressing, whether it's in social media, whether it's in our job and our relationships, that is coming from like a beautifully grounded place within. So when you're making that connection with yourself, your nervous system is operating at a calmer place than ever before. Yeah. Just keep going. You're doing it. And when you have moments of doubt, mirror work is really, really helpful. Like, I'm just seeing you like sort of like staring in the mirror, like meeting yourself, eye to eye. All right. May this be of service.